What's up, Cole?
What's up, Luke?
Good. You all good here?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So when we get Roy on, just bring him in generically, and then uh, hopefully he gets on here shortly. But we have to be
Right.
done by I want to be done by 11:20, 11:25 Central Time. So do you have your messenger up?
I will.
Yeah, I'll kind of lead you there, and then you
That's
have all
cool.
the information that we're supposed to ask him about for what he's promoting.
I mean, I have all the information. I didn't know if there was anything in particular that he was wanting to promote. As far as, the new show, I talk about that.
Yeah,
His
yeah. As long
comedy,
as you get to that, that's fine.
yeah, and like what's he been doing during, he's been, helping raise money for stand-ups and whatnot. And
Cole, real quick, can I get a slow
yo,
5 count from you whenever you're settled?
yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Dan. Cole looks good to me on the screen. Suzanne, if you can help me out real quick. I stopped on a record. Can you just confirm that the record, that Cole's green screen, there's no outline of a green screen on his head or anything like that? Once again, on my end, he looks great. And then Dan, let me know.
Headphones just clicked on me. I got it. I need to use your charger.
I mean, it's no worse than it typically is. We definitely have some breakup around his head. And, just the outline.
He does. Okay, stand by. Dan, can I put with 1200 with a green screen? Yes, you can. That won't change anything drastically there as far as the green screen goes.
Guys, I'm just plugging these headphones in real quick because one just kicked on me until Roy gets here.
Copy. If you could just, whenever you're done, just stare at the camera real quick. Thanks. Just trying to fix the screen.
I think that looks pretty good. All right, so I lowered it. I'm going to sit on this for a sec. Stop the record. Something is feeding back. That's yeah.
All right, Roy should be getting on any second now.
Man, you still got me here through your headphones, Cole? All right, we don't hear you, which was what I was afraid of. Nope. Try logging out. Log back in real quick if you can. That should do it. Got me here?
Yep. Got me?
Yep. Since I brought you back, one more 5 count if you don't mind.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, buddy. Let me get that messenger up. Oh, here's smoke. Smoky, stop. Hey, Malik. Malik, you got me back there?
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up?
Let's hope that Ken Griffey Jr. gives Dempster a better interview than he gave Linda Cohn.
I don't remember that.
Oh, just all you have to do is Google it. Ken Griffey Jr. Linda Cohn interview. He gave nothing but like 1 and 2 word answers. It was like the last interview of the day on like an interview cycle.
Was it
I guess Linda
recently?
covered him. It was back. It might have even been when I worked there. Not that recently, but it was not great. She's like, "Oh, Ken, good to see you. You know, I covered you in the
Was he
Pacific Coast
retired?
League and blah blah blah." Yeah, he was retired. He was doing an upper deck thing. He's like, "So you're doing all these baseball? Who was your favorite baseball card?" He's like, "My dad," and that's all. I mean, he gave her nothing. I mean, she rolled with it 100% because I mean, she's Linda Cohn, but it was not.
She's out in LA now, isn't she?
Yeah, she lives right up the street, actually.
Is she still working for them?
Hmm. I don't know how many shows because no one's doing any shows out of that LA center. They're not doing like Stan or Neil. It's not even open
Oh,
right
really?
now.
They shut it
Hey,
down?
Paula, he just texted me. Tech difficulties. Give me 5 minutes. So I just texted him back asking what kind of trouble he's having. So he just says jumping.
Thank you.
Coming in now.
Okay. Let's go find out.
I texted him as well too. So let's see.
It says he's logged in right now, so he just jumped on. So,
Great. You seeing him, Kevin?
No, he should be in any second now.
He's logged on twice.
there he is.
There we go.
And now
Nice.
we just put a little bit of some green on behind that thing. Can we use a Cubs logo? We got some clearance on that.
You should give
Yeah, let
him.
me
You
see
should
what I
give him
can
the Red Cubs 360 background since he's got the green screen and everything popping. Roy, what's up, man?
Man, ain't nothing, man. This stupid camera. Sorry about that.
It's all good. You got a regular camera, or is it the camera on your computer?
It's a DSLR that I've been trying to work with, to do a little more razzle dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
And what I
You said
realized is
razzle
that if I
dazzle.
let my computer run in these apps too long, I have to restart my computer because it straight up
That's
won't
how it is
detect
with.
camera. You know, how the longer computers stay on, the stupider it get.
Uh-huh. That's what they. If we get out, if there's too many glitches, they make us log off and log back on. We'll lose audio and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's that type of situation.
Hey,
no
Ken,
doubt,
this
man.
is Kevin over at Marquee, the director. Your interview with Ryan will start in about 20 minutes, just so you know. I see your signal coming in. If you want to log back in about 20 minutes, that's fine, or you can hang out before your interview starts. Whatever works for you.
20 seconds, gentlemen. 20 seconds.
Hey, Roy, what's up? It's Malik. How are you?
Malik, what's going on, brother?
Chilling. How are you doing? Good?
I'm good, man. I was talking to Max a couple of days ago. We're trying to cook up some shit to do with Dempster.
All right. Nice.
Nice.
Is that a green
Kevin,
screen behind you, Roy? This is Kevin, the director here.
Yes, sir. 20 seconds here. I'm going to try and give you this. There we go. Okay, that
Might
should
be
have
a,
grayed me
a
out.
first on Cubs 360, where a guest has their own green screen and doing green screen things.
Yeah, it's a gray background behind you, if that's correct.
Oh, there it
Nice.
is. Oh, bitch,
How?
there, we did it.
How?
Okay, now I'm ready.
Nice.
There you go.
Unless you don't
Is
want
it
this logo,
possible?
unless you want the green.
Do you have any other logo? That's fine. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Can you? I just want to. Can you push? Can you sit back at all or move your camera forward? I just want to create a little bit more headroom on you. Let's see, like that. So you're centered there, perfect. Hang
Is
like
that
right
still
like
a little
that.
too much head?
Yeah, if just don't pop up and you should be all set. That's perfect right there, and I'll frame you up.
Okay. All right, cool.
Just 1 minute here.
All right, ready.
Roy, you in New York right now?
No, man, we went down to Alabama so this boy could have some space with his grandmama.
Absolutely.
We did New York for 2 months. We didn't been down here 3 weeks. We're probably gonna stay another 2 or 3 and then head
Okay.
back.
Yeah, my wife and daughter, they went
Daily
to
show ain't in
Louisiana
no
for
rush
about
to
10
get
days.
back. So hell, I ain't finna be in no rush.
Right?
All right, Malik, I'm all set here. You want to start on a single or Cole?
Yeah, start on a single call. So, hey, Roy, we're just going to go with you about 15 minutes here. Just have some fun. Make sure you get in any promotion you want to get in, but Cole will set you up. But like I said, just be 15 minutes of, just talking Cubs, which I know you love. So start on the single,
Let's do it.
Cole. Go. All right, Cole, I'll count you in
Ready?
here, okay?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. And it's now my pleasure to welcome a diehard Cubs fan to Cubs 360. Now, you see him on The Daily Show on Comedy Central. You see him on Comedy Central's Playback. And today, you will see him on the premiere of Netflix's new series, Space Force. It's my pleasure to welcome to Cubs 360 comedian, actor, jack of all trades. It's Roy Wood Jr. Roy, how you doing, man?
And father, also father.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the most important title. I should have said that first. How you doing?
I'm decent, man. I'm coming to you live from my mama's garage in Alabama, hoping that this 4-year-old tornado doesn't walk in the middle of this and make me a meme.
How has quarantine been with the 4-year-old? You doing homeschooling and all that?
Well, they like to call it e-learning, if you want to know. And I'm not learning nothing. What I've learned is that teachers need they pay quadruple minimum
Yeah.
because I have a hard enough time sitting one child. Could you imagine being in a room with 12 4-year-olds, even with backup assistants? You can't survive it. It's been fun to have more time with my child, but honestly, when you're quarantined, it's me, my son, my girl, my mom. So it's like, I love you, but I need to just go outside and walk. Like I look out the window at my mom's house, I just see people walking. I go, I understand. That's not even for your health. It's too many people in your house. You got to go.
Yeah, fresh air is the antidote for all that e-learning, or so they call it these days. Now, you said you're down there in Alabama, and I want to get down to the root of this because when it comes to your Cubs fandom, growing up in Alabama, how'd you become a Cubs fan?
Because that's what came on TV. You can root for the Braves, but here's the thing. The Braves came on at night. So, well, rewind. So baseball in the 80s, there was no MLB, networking tickets and all of that. And long before Marquee, the Cubs came on at 1 o'clock every day, like clockwork.
Mhm.
1 o'clock Cubs game, which meant when I got home from school, the Cubs were on. My parents weren't home yet, so I didn't have to fight my dad for the remote because at night, when I wanted to kind of watch the Braves, we only had one TV with cable. And so he wanted to watch the A team and he wouldn't give up the remote. So if you want to watch baseball, you got to watch it during the day. And then Andre Dawson came through with that Jerry curl around the same time I started loving Ice Cube. And I was like, I like brothers with Jerry curls. Go Cubs.
Okay, Andre Dawson, he was my favorite player too. Number 8, the Hawk, and when he hit one over that fence, we know he hit one over a true link fence. So, what was your earliest and most favorite Cub memory, Roy?
Ooh. I'd say my favorite player early on was Sean Dunston. So I always liked Sean Dunston. Always like it's a tough question. All right, Jerome Walton, Dwight Smith, co-rookie of the year. That was my favorite moment because I had both of their upper deck rookie cards, and then my guinea pig gnawed them to hell. I'm over it
So,
though.
were you
I'm
like me?
42 now.
Did
I should let these things
did
go.
you collect did you collect Jerome Walton rookie cards when everyone else was out there collecting Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards? Because you and I were the same age, and I know I did.
Yes, yes. And I offer no apologies for it. I would say though, if there's a game that stands out in particular for me, this is going to sound sappy, but the first Cubs game I attended, I think it was like '07, Cubs Dodgers. Derek Lowe threw a one hitter. There's nothing more disappointing than watching the Cubs get one hit on your first trip to Wrigley. I think the game time was like an hour 52. Didn't even get to enjoy the stadium.
So you grew up a Cubs fan your whole life, and you didn't actually get to the friendly confines till 2007. Is this correct?
Yeah, man, my daddy wasn't finna take me nowhere, man. My father has a lot of ties to Chicago. He worked at WVON. He ran with Don Cornelius. He had a radio show with Ernie Banks back in the 50s. So there were plenty of opportunities, but I had a black daddy. Yeah, well, we ain't gonna go to no baseball game. You watch that baseball on TV. Same thing. Get your popcorn. Sit in front of the TV, just like Wrigley Field. I put some leaves on your side.
Tell us a little bit more about your pop's show that he had with Ernie Banks, because I think myself included, a lot of people didn't know about that.
That was I'm trying to think of a way of what to compare it to, but it was one of those interesting pairings where you had the athlete and you had the journalists doing something together.
Mhm.
I'd say the closest thing to it, this isn't the same sport, but I would say like kind of what Aaron Rodgers does every Monday morning, like after a Packers game. He gets on sports talk radio and he talks a little bit of shop about the game or whatever. And my father was a civil rights journalist, so they would talk a little bit about world issues and things like that. But it wasn't PTI where they're just yelling at each other about sports.
Imagine that. Ernie Banks and Roy's pops going back and forth like Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon. That probably was a sight to see. Now,
Imagine Ernie Banks ever
we
being angry about it. Is there even a picture of Ernie Banks frowning?
I don't think there is. We'll have to get research on that one. We'll see if
He
we can
doesn't
actually
frown.
find Ernie Banks without a smile on his face. I think it just says stock photo, image not found. When it comes to the
Yeah.
Cubs and the success they've had over the last few years, if you go back about 7 or 8 seasons ago, those were the lean years. So how was your Cubs fandom back then, Roy?
I mean, I wasn't going nowhere. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I was down through Zimmerman, through Jim Riggleman, through the dude. Who was the manager they got from San Diego? Dave Swavum.
Dale Swain. Yeah, Dale Swain. Yeah.
Swavum. He had a couple extra consonants in the middle. I was stumbling over him with my Alabama English. Dave Swavum. I was down with the Cubs when Anthony Young had the most consecutive starts without a win. If you could make it through that, man, I hurt for that brother so bad. I think he went 0-19. I don't know, flash up the real stats later, but I think he went 19 straight starts without a win. There was Frank Castillo who pitched for the Cubs in the 90s. And I used to try to, when I was playing baseball in high school, I called myself trying to throw a changeup like Frank Castillo. What it ended up being was a home run ball, and I ended up at first base.
Okay. Well, how about the Cubs robe? Because not right now we see you in your Cubs, pinstripe V-neck 80s throwback jersey, but the Cubs robe, for those who do not know, I mean, it was a staple during that 2016 World Series run.
So I got this Cubs bathrobe as some goof gift at work. Sidebar. I don't like robes. I don't like robes. I think robes are a conspiracy by the fashion industry to convince indecisive people that they should be uncomfortable with their bodies fresh out the shower. I also feel the same way about pajamas. Sleep in old clothes. Old clothes are the best. That's aside the point. I get this
Absolutely.
robe, and someone said, I know you hate robes, but I bet you'll wear a robe if it has a Cubs logo on it. So I wear the robe to a Cubs game, and they win. And I wore it to another game, and they won again. So then it became the thing where anytime the Cubs were on TV and I was watching, I had to wear the robe. And so when game 5 of the World Series hits, and I think it was game 5 where Addison Russell hit the grand slam. It might have been game 6. But whenever he hit that grand slam, I was sitting on the couch and I turned to my girl and I go, I gotta go to Cleveland. I gotta go to Cleveland. This is World Series Game 7 Cubs. I sat through Anthony Young. I sat through Greg Maddux leaving and coming back. I had high hopes for Jeff Blauser and Fred McGriff and Howard Johnson. I'm in pain. I'm going to Cleveland. And I took the robe, a pair of drawers, and my laptop. And I went to Cleveland and I wore the robe. I can give you guys a picture of this. Let's see you guys a picture. And that's me in the robe, game 7 at the Jake.
All right. And we know
And
the
it
rest is
immediately
history. Game
rained.
7.
Here's the best part of the robe.
Yeah.
It immediately rained after the end of game 7 of the World Series. My robe was soaking wet. It never smelled the same. I've only worn it twice since.
All right. You won't want to wear a soaked World Series robe anyways. I mean, it's not like you said you're not a big robe fan, so it's not like you're going to put it back on even if it's not smelling too fresh. But
Yeah, I wore it one more time to Fenway with Cubs diehard Brian Doyle Murray, and it didn't feel the same. Also, it was 85 degrees. It was too hot. I sweat through my jeans.
Yeah. So you just brought the robe, a pair of underwear, and yourself, and you were at Game 7, and you took it in like the true Cubs fan that you really are. I appreciate that. Now, I also appreciate your body of work right now because you're keeping busy during this quarantine, and you're on Comedy Central. Like we said, you're on The Daily Show, you're on Stand Up Playback, and Space Force, that's hitting Netflix today. Tell us a little bit more about that, Roy.
Yes. Well, we all know how we got to the creation of Space Force, the 6th branch of our lovely military. And so this show is about how would you create that? How would you create a military branch from scratch? And so Steve Carell and Greg Daniels sat and put the pen to paper and started scripting the show together. And I got the call to be a part of it. I play an Army general, so thankfully I never get to leave Earth. Because I don't know about y'all, I'm not trying to go to Mars. You don't want to be the first person at the club. You never want to be the first person at the club.
How is it working with Steve Carell?
The man is focused. And, it's comedy, but to do it right requires a level of seriousness that, I was very thrilled to see because I've been on the sets of some sitcoms where, I feel like people weren't necessarily attacking the job the right way. So to just be in the midst of that, and then we got to talk a little bit off camera, some Daily Show trivia, but we're from two different eras of the Daily Show, unfortunately. You know what it's like? Hanging with Steve Carell is like hanging with somebody that went to the same high school as you, but graduated 10 years earlier. So there's a familiarity off the camaraderie, but it's like, hey, cool, you've been where I've been. I respect you a little bit more. This is cool. But it was a fun show, and to be around, the thing that was most interesting is to be around John Malkovich, who, you can't tell if somebody's still acting when the scene is over with. And you're like, oh, you're just a regal, sophisticated dude. Okay, I respect this. And to put him and Carell on camera together, it's just magic. It's going to be a great show.
So you and Steve Carell in the same room is almost like Joe Claire and Big Tig from Rap City fame back in the day in the basement. It's just
that's the perfect analogy.
The exact same thing.
Oh, man, you hit the nail on the head. Shout out to Big Liz, too. She hosted Rap City.
Yeah, absolutely. Prince DeJour, we'll find you one of these days. And Roy Wood Jr., man, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for stopping by here on Cubs 360. You're welcome here on the show anytime, my friend.
Hey, man, I'm going to hold you to it. I might even rock the robe next time.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all. And then I can email y'all a couple of y'all's road pictures if y'all want to drop them in.
The road pictures, for sure. No doubt.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Roy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, for real. Come on anytime, man.
All right, thank you.
Good stuff. All right, Malik. So we got Jason Kipnis at what time?
Yeah, 12:30. So I think we're all good.
Okay, in an hour. Cool.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for that. He was great. That'll work.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm going to try and get him to do the podcast, so I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. All right, man.
I'll see you soon.
See ya. Hey, I see Jim and Jr. both logged in.
Hey, Ken, can you hear me? This is Kevin, the director of Marquee. All right, I don't hear you, so thumbs up if you can hear me. You can hear me? Okay, I see you're using your AirPods there. Quickest thing, if you log out and log back in, that should fix the issue here. Demp, you got me?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you. Signal's looking great.
What's up, Demp?
Yo, what up, dude?
I like that shirt.
It's fresh, right?
Yep, it's good.
Me too. Thanks.
All right, you got me?
You got me now, Ken?
That one I wore last show. I don't know why I went with that, but whatever.
Perfect.
It is what it is.
And then you're using your cell phone, it looks like here?
Yeah.
Signal really good.
Perfect. Stand by. I'm going to try and improve your signal strength here. Hold on.
Will you give him the two shot?
Want me to get him off? Want me to get him off wires?
Yay! What's up, dude?
Nothing. What's going on?
Oh, just getting ready for the RV trip.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
7 states in 5 days.
Yeah, no Wi-Fi. Have him hop onto cellular.
Well, I did 10 countries in 7 days.
Hey, Ken, this is Kevin, the director again. If you're on your cell phone, can you jump off wireless? And that'll greatly improve the signal strength of your video and audio, if that's possible.
You asking me to do something that. Let me see if I have. How do you gonna have me search my damn house?
You mean just click off date onto data or off data?
No.
Onto data. So if you're on wireless,
On
you
Wi-Fi.
can get off wireless and go on the data. Damn, that side a touch to your right, and your signal's great.
Can you hear me now?
Hear you now. Yep.
Is that better?
Usually takes about a minute here for it to improve, but it should. Let's see.
Y'all know I got these anytime minutes, so I'm good for a little bit.
I was gonna say if you need reimbursement to get off there, we got a big budget here at Marquee, so we can help you out.
Okay. Yeah. My daily rate is quite crazy, but we can settle out of court for a 40 ounce and a bag of chips.
What flavor?
A barbecue.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Well, I go with little
You
onion
could go
flavor
across the
too.
border and get ketchup. If you went up to Toronto, you get those ketchup chips.
Oh no, 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 no! I had those. I'm only a Heinz ketchup guy.
There you go.
Uh,
My wife got this new ketchup. It's got no sugar in it, She's like, it's better for you. And I'm like, but that's why I like the ketchup, because it's got the sugar. That's one.
Sometimes you just gotta go with it.
You just got to say yes.
Fake it, fake it. When she's not looking, just go in there and have your own stash. Deep in the back of the refrigerator, so it stays cold.
Oh, how'd that
Or
get
you
back
just
there? I
blame
don't
it on
even
the
remember
kids.
seeing that, honey.
Yeah, I don't recall. It must have been there a while. You gotta make
Yeah,
sure you scratch out the date so you don't get in trouble for it.
that's right. And this one's always going, I don't know, man. Maybe the kids got it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey Ken, this is Kevin, the director. One more time for you. I see you're working on your computer there. Is it possible to log in from your computer? Do you have a camera on your computer at all?
Hell no, I ain't got no camera on my computer. I'm old school.
All right, no, that's all
I got a
good.
monitor.
We'll go with this. Um, if you want, just to center your shot up, can you put your cell phone where your monitor is, so it's kind of just like a direct centered shot of you? Is that possible?
That is centered. That's the best I can do.
All right, perfect.
I know what he's doing. He's messing with you.
It froze.
I think he's logging in on his computer. I think he's fucking with you.
Yeah, I think he is too.
Oh, okay.
He likes to fuck around.
I was cool with whatever. He has an attempt to log back in, Tim, just so you know. Still waiting.
On Teams or vMix?
Junior, you okay?
Wait, Samuel?
I just texted.
No, it says that he attempted to log back in.
Yeah, he just asked if we can see him, and we can.
Dan, this might be a setup on his actual machine. Here, he just logging him out.
Hey, dude. What's up? But it won't lock through. Did you get off the one on your phone? Okay.
There we go. I see
There you are. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Got it. I switched
Sweet.
over.
Thanks for that, Ken. You look and sound much better.
All right. Let me. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You got me?
Yeah.
Sweet. Hey, so what we'll do is I'll just bring you in like we're coming from a shot. They'll show me, then they'll bring it on a 2-shot, and then we'll talk for a little bit about kind of just career stuff, just have some fun, baseball stuff. And then I'll go like bump to a break, like stick around. We'll be right back with a little bit more, and then bump out, and then just come right back because we're taping, so we're not going to commercial.
Okay.
And then just go into like just like life stuff off the field, kids, golf, everything, flying, video games, anything you don't want me to touch. I'm not going to touch anything. And if you throw somebody under the bus and you're like, man, I shouldn't have said that, just tell me and we won't put it in. Like Adam Dunn's a douchebag, something like that. Like
yeah. I mean, yeah. Are you drinking coffee?
I am.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a 19-month-old, dude. That's what happens. It's like I just get an IV drip, but not after noon. Once noontime hits, that's when your caffeine's supposed to stop.
Hold on. So you got what? 20 minutes?
I got 21 minutes. Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm on my 4th cup. I'm gonna be like Chris Farley here pretty soon.
So now you're just binge coffee drinking. Perfect.
in the morning. That's it. I don't know. Laird Hamilton said not afternoon, and that guy's got more energy than Energizer Bunny. So
No, I don't drink coffee.
good for you.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, guys. Hey, Ken, what's up? My name's Malik. I'm the producer. So just like Dim said, we'll just get going here. He's going to stop in the middle of it, and we'll restart again. But like we said, we're on tape. So if there's anything you're uncomfortable with, just stop and reset, and we'll have some fun. I like it, though. I like it.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So just give me a single, and we'll get going here.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever.
All right. Here we go, Dim. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us here at Off the Mound, presented by Sloan. Obviously, we're very excited for our first guest and only guest of this very special show, my former teammate in Cincinnati, a player that I looked up to for a long time, 13-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove winner, and Hall of Famer, the kid Ken Griffey Jr. joining us here on Off the Mound. Junior, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. Just living out the quarantine life. Excited that we're slowly opening things up here around the country, and especially here in Chicago.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been a tough 8 weeks or so, but for the most part, I think things are going pretty well. We're starting to, like you said, open things up, and but I tell my people, my family, that I'm an essential worker. I do the grocery shopping and go to the post office. That's about it.
Obviously baseball is not being played right now. Tons of people miss it. What about for you? Do you miss baseball? Do you miss playing baseball, or are you good?
Do I miss playing baseball? Yes. Do I miss the day-to-day grind? No. Just the fact that, my body is somewhat healing is good, but do I miss going into a locker room and talking junk and then, playing a game, competing? Yes, I do miss that.
Well, you said your body's healing. 50 is looking pretty good on you. Does 50 feel better than 40?
No. 40, I was still playing. 50, I was like, nah, no. When they say that you wake up and you go, oh my, yeah, I woke up at 45. I threw my back out on my birthday, which is hilarious because we were at a Cowboy game, and I just woke up and I was like, oh, I can't move. And they started laughing. My kids like, what's wrong? I'm like, I can't move. And they're like, you're 45. And then so 50, I was like, I didn't move from, no, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm not doing this. And they just start laughing. They're like, Dad, you're 50. Let's go. So I didn't do anything on my 50th. I tried to play 50 holes of golf. Notice I said I didn't try to do anything. I ended up getting like 38 holes in, and the kids wanted to go get something to eat. They played like 9 holes with me, so that was good.
Oh, that's outstanding. Right? What a way to spend your 50th right there. I hope when I turn 50 that my kids want to do the exact same thing. That'd be awesome. Looking back,
pretty good kids.
Going through your, yeah, you do, man. You got great kids, and I only knew them when they were little, but it seems like you've done an incredible job. Well, at least Mama has of making sure that they got their head on straight and doing the right thing.
Yeah, I'm the fun dad. You know how that is. You come home and want to do all the
Absolutely.
fun stuff. Yeah.
I just got, if you're cool with that, I just want to go on a little trip down memory lane with you. Just all the way back to getting drafted. The number one pick in the country. Your father playing in the big leagues. The expectations that came with all that, like dealing with that as a young kid. How did you handle that? Was it hard, or did you just kind of go with the flow because you were just having fun playing baseball?
No, it's a lot of work. I think that, the misconception for me is that I don't do anything. I just sit around and let natural ability take care of itself. I like to do things by myself. I'm pretty good at that. Like if you sit by me and work out together, it could probably take 4 hours. But if I do it by myself, it could take 45 minutes. I've had the luxury of, When I was in Seattle, the guys understood that. A little different when I got to Cincinnati. Um, it took them a while to realize, like, just let them go. I always said, yeah, I play for the name on the front of the jersey, but I believe in the name in the back, and it's my career, and it's not yours. And I've been doing this all my life. And when you get hurt, things happen. It is what it is. But do I regret the things that I've done? The way I play? No. I'm always going to give you 110%. And that's me. But going back to me getting drafted, it was a couple days before the draft where they were talking about me getting drafted number 1 overall. And my dad sat me down. He's like, hey, you can, not be drafted number 1 and could wait for Cincinnati or Atlanta, and Pittsburgh, I think, was 2. And I just remember being able to say, I want to go number 1. I want to be the first pick in the country. I think that was, for me, that was important, is to be able to create my own path. And, my dad was cool with it. He was like, okay, let's go number 1. And, the night before the actual draft, I signed my contract. So they could announce it at my house that I was going to be the number 1 overall pick. And then like 3 hours later, after that, I was in Atlanta taking ground balls in the outfield with Willie Stargell, who said that we're going to work on your footwork. And for the next 2 days, I went out there and in left field and worked on my footwork. The funny thing about that is everybody thinks, remembers Willie Stargell was a first baseman. He was an outfielder. And,
Yep.
He just said, we're going to get your footwork and get it right. And for like the first 40 minutes, I didn't even have a ball. He was just like, we're going to step. Here's the steps that you're going to need to take. And that was part of my development, was listening to guys who played the position and take everything they instilled in me and use it. And that was it. The same techniques that I would teach a little kid, Willie Stargell taught me at 17.
Yeah, you know what? And like kudos to you too, because like a ton of kids, this, they come through the locker room, they're there, they're around big leaguers because their dad is playing, and they don't absorb all that. They don't take it in, but you took it in and turned it into, obviously an amazing career. You make your big league debut. Then your first swing in the Kingdome is a homer. Like I was just like checking stuff out, and I watching games in the Pacific Northwest and seeing a lot of your games in Seattle. What a special moment, with the hype and everything like that, to come into the Kingdome. You're like, all right, because you made your first start on the road, and then you come home and your first swing in the Kingdome's an Oppo homer, shocker, fastball down and away, and just bridging somebody left field. So what was that like, with all the crowd? Because the place was going nuts when that happened.
It's funny because I got my first hit off of Stu, and then I think I went like 0 for 14 after that. And as a rookie, I'm like, I'm getting sent down. I can't believe I'm just terrible and blah, blah, blah. And then, we get to Seattle. And once I got my first home run, I was like, okay, I got it now. And, the home runs are accidents that just happen. Just trying to have a good swing on the pitch. And I got it up out of there. And, I looked at my home run trot and I realized how brutal it was, and had to really work on it. That was one of the things I look back and go, oh, that was so bad.
Well, you had tons of practice afterwards, so you got really good at it.
Yeah, I didn't have that big league trot that that you get with a couple years in. I didn't have that. I was more of like a clumsy pony at that time. But a few home runs later, I got to it.
Nice. And then, I think this is just such a cool moment, and to be able to hit a home run in the same game as your dad. Like, it's one thing to play. There's to be able to play with your dad is special enough in itself. But then in the same game, to sit there and go deep together, like by the way, when you came in, was he like, mine went further?
Well, there's a couple things that happened that day.
All right.
Well, when he got to the team, he was like, hey, this is your team. I'm just here to help. And which he said, I'll be dad when we leave the ballpark, but while I am here, I'm your teammate. And that took a lot of pressure off of me because, even though the first at bat, I did call him dad. I was like, let's get a hit, dad. And everybody on the bench started laughing because it's the first time that they've really heard somebody say it and actually mean it. So, but, going to that game, he's got a couple friends, Dave Winfield, Chili Davis, a couple other guys that he knows. And he hits a home run. He touches home plate. And he said, that's how you do it, son. As he's shaking my hand, I was like, no, he didn't. As I'm looking at him. And they gave me the green light on 3-0. And I had to take a double take. Like, it was like, oh, you giving me the green light? Okay. All right. And when I hit it out, I couldn't wait to get back to home plate. Couldn't wait to get in the dugout. He made me shake everybody's hand before he shook mine. And we sat next to each other. And he elbowed me. He said, you know what we did? I go, yeah, home runs. And he is, at that time, 38, 39. He's looking at history. I'm still in the moment of the game. And I didn't really realize what that moment meant until I was 38 and I passed Frank Robinson on the home run chart. And I was in the outfield and I could reflect, like, I just passed him. Now I know what my dad felt like when we went back to back and how hard that is, and that little piece of history. So it was a trip. And then Dave Winfield proceeded to hit 2 home runs and we lost that game. He said, I want to be part of history too. I was like, but having a dad out there, someone that people outside of sports don't understand. Having a dad that shows up at a game is important for a little league game. No matter if you say anything, if you're that dad that don't say nothing, or you're that dad that jumps and screams and runs around, the fact that you're there. My dad probably seen 20 games from my little league until, being in the big leagues, just because, being in New York, being in Atlanta, not being able to come home. And plus the games that he was there, I tried to hit a 500-foot home runs. There's times where I was, he'd come see me. We was in Cincinnati. He saw me the first 2 at bats. I went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And then I drive down to the ballpark after. He said, how'd you do? I said, well, I went 3 for 5, 2 home runs and a double. He was like, you couldn't do that when I was there? I just had a hard time because I didn't see him, because he was gone. And so it was tough, but, it is what it is. He had to provide for a family, and, I reaped the benefits of him still playing at age, 38, 39, and 40. And, we talk a lot. I mean, we still talk a lot. We talk probably 4 times a week. And probably more now with the, the situation with the country's in, that I'll call him, check on him, and, he'll be screaming in the background. And, so what's funny is I sent him a PlayStation so we could play games on there. And he's like, I am 70 years old. What could I actually play that you guys? So he's over there now. He's playing Call of Duty with all of us. He's got his grandkids and everybody's online, and I hear, did Grandpa die again? so yeah. They're like, Grandpa, come on. And he's like, I'm trying.
Right.
And, but but
too many
it's a lot of
buttons.
fun.
For
I
him.
mean,
There's way too many buttons to push.
Yeah, he's used to the red button, like from Atari, joystick and 1 red button. But he's so fun to be on the game with. It's funny because this call sign is like Red Death something, and I'm like, how'd you get that name? He was like, I don't know, I just came up with something. So we have a lot of fun doing it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then like all those you talked about the games he was unable to be there for because he's providing for your family and doing those things and setting that example. Years later, he's retired. It's a Father's Day in St. Louis. He's there. Chris Carpenter's on the mound. Tater, 500 home run. What a special moment. We all want to do something special when our dad's in the stands. I'm just trying to get through the first inning, and you're going out there and hitting 500 on Father's Day. How special was that for you to be able to share that moment with him and give him that gift as he's looking on sitting there?
Well, I didn't realize that one swing could make so many people happy and leave because they traveled with me from 499. So they were on planes and trains and automobiles. I mean, so um, the fact that I did it on Father's Day, was special. But um, he was probably one of the biggest supporters. Just relax, just go up there, pick out one pitch, try to hit it, and that was it. He didn't go up there, hey, you got to do it today. You got to do this. But I tell you what, after that swing and after we had the hug and after the game when I saw him, he got on the plane and he left. He was like, "I'm out. I'm gone. I got to go back.
Enough
I got to go
hotel
back
room
to my
food.
life."
I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, it was quite interesting flying with the Griffey family, as we call it. It was like I call one of the things that we travel. I call it Griffey Force Family Fun, and that's whatever Dad wants to do. But we had a blast. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. And what's funny is, he got to see 600. He was actually in the stadium getting ready to sit down when I hit 600. So he's been around for 400, 500, 600. He missed
That's amazing.
100, 200, 300.
And Trey too. And Trey is a bat boy in 600. So you have your dad there and him. You have a knack for doing some special moments with your family in the stands. It's pretty cool stuff.
Well, I try to make everybody happy. One swing, like I said, one swing can make a whole lot of people happy. What's funny about that is on the 600, the kids just got out of school and they drove down to Miami, and it was the first time that I was going to see them. And when I hit it, they started laughing. They were like, "You just waited for us to show up?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah, I'm good with that." But it's one of those things that special moment that you can share with everybody. All my teammates, coming out the dugout, giving me a hug and high five and congratulate me. The baseball is a place where if you do something special, people take the time to stand up and give you a standing O and really appreciate what you've done. And whether you're a home player or a road player, they getting a standing O in Philly, in LA and Chicago was pretty special, and I will always remember that.
All these moments you had, the big home runs that you hit, they're great memories, and you made so many people happy, and they're a big part of your career. The catches that you made, robbing home runs, all this stuff. But for a lot of people, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, one of the biggest memories they have is you running the bases and Edgar hitting that double down the line in '95. What was going through your head when you're leading off first base and he hits that ball? Take us through what was going on there and what you were thinking and what it felt like when you crossed home plate.
Well, getting the things that you work on in spring training, getting your lead, your secondary lead, and getting a good jump off the ball is very important. And those are the things that in spring training, even though you work on them, they're still challenging because it is spring training. And we made it a pride thing to pick up the mail and all those bags. You want to score. You want to have 100 runs scored. Those are the goals that we set. If you have 100 runs scored, then you're going to be special. And I think that year 3 guys had 100. I was on the DL for 73 days, but it was important for me to do my part and be a part of the history of trying to score. I mean, you look at Ricky Henderson, all-time runs scored, all-time walks, things like that people don't really see in the stat book because you look at hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, but people have to do the little things for to be successful, for a team to be successful. And that was one of the goals that we set was, make sure that, whether you're on first is make it hard on the third base coach to make that decision to hold you. You want him to, the exact words from Lou was, you want his ass on the line. And,
Yeah, heck yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah. And that was our goal, is to make it so tough for, if he makes the right call, it's good. If he makes the wrong call, he doesn't want to come back in that dugout and look at Lou. And, Sammy, did a great job. He was like, hey. And when Edgar hit that ball, I wasn't going to stop. It was going to be a play at the plate. And I knew that. And I only looked at him. I looked at him right before I got to second base, and that was it. And then I don't remember ever looking at him again until I gave him a hug at the end.
Wow, man. Well, that moment right there when you slid across home plate, it really did kind of put Seattle Mariners baseball on the map. Your guys' team was so good, and now all of a sudden it really became noticeable across the country. And, what a special moment that was to give everything you had. You could see it as you're running around the bases, and so cool, amongst many other great baseball memories that you've given a ton of people, including your family, which is most important over the years. So appreciate you sharing that with us. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and catch up about life with Ken Griffey Jr. Right after this short break, we'll be back with more Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster, presented by Sloan. Sweet, man.
Dan, real quick, can you tilt your camera down just a touch, just to cut off a little letter? Yep. Then, Ken, quick question. We're getting kind of a glare. It's just bouncing, reflecting off your camera. Do you have blinds that you can close on those windows by chance? No? Okay, all good.
No, that's the only thing that I don't have.
All good.
I got everything. I got those little straw blinds that just hang down, and that's it. Because I got 10 acres and nobody can see me anyway, so.
No need for them then. All good.
All right, cool.
You're up.
Malik, you ready?
Yeah.
This will be a little shorter, Junior, probably 15 minutes, and we're done.
Yeah, 15. Great. Okay. Can you start on the single again, Kevin?
Yeah, just let me reframe that. Stand by.
Yep. And then you're just taking it out of break, Tim.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
All right, I'm all set.
You all good, Junior?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. You ready, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Off the Mound, presented by Sloan. Great sitting down here and catching up with Ken Griffey Jr., hearing stories of his baseball career. Now we want to know a little bit about Ken Griffey Jr., the man, the person, the dad, a father of 3. You got 2 boys and a girl. You got them all in the house right now, but you got one left before you're an official empty nester. What's that been like, being a dad and having that time away from baseball to watch your kids grow up and aspire to who they want to be?
Well, it's great. I think I tell my kids that I have an abnormal job, but I'm a normal dad with an abnormal job. I want to be known as Trey, Taryn, and Tevin's dad, not so much, hey, that's Ken Griffey Jr. and that's his kids. I want them to have more success than I've had. It's funny having them at the house, and 26, 24, and 18. Today's graduation day, so he's got to drive around in his car, and there's going to be like a little parade, so we've got to do that at like 5 o'clock. But it's been quite interesting at the house. They're good kids, but you can see that when they say something, you're like, oh, that's her side of the family. Or she'll say, that's definitely your child. You can really see their mannerisms. I'll say something like, Taryn acts just like you. And she go, well, Trey's acting just like you. I'm like, wait a minute, what about Tevin? Yeah, he's a combo. But it's never a dull moment. We have a lot of fun. Like I said, they understand that, the pecking order is dad, mom, and then the kids. So, they understand that. And, I've, the greatest compliment that I ever got from a teammate wasn't, it's from Jason LaRue, said, I wish we had more kids like yours in this locker room. And, I tell my kids that it's not owed to you to be in this locker room. It's a privilege and it can be taken away. And, if somebody asks you to do something, go do it. I remember, one of the guys said, hey, in my locker, can you go get my bat? It's over here, blah, blah, blah. Trey ran up there and grabbed it. And then he sat next to me. And those are the things that mean a lot to me, is that, yeah, you're my kid, but, when you have the utmost respect for adults and when they need something, and they ask you for something, you go and do it. I hear, yes, sir, and no, ma'am, all the time from them. While Trey was in college, there was a lady playing golf, and she was a single person and single golfer. And she wrote a letter to Melissa and I about, I hope my kids act like this when I'm not around them. And, I shared the letter with Trey and Taryn and Tevin saying, this is important. I mean, not only did she felt that she needed to do this, she did it and sent it to us. That is a testament to, Melissa and how she's molded these kids. Again, I'm the fun dad. I take credit for that part, but, the thing that is most important is, I try to instill this to, the kids that I speak with, the kids that I help, is you're the future of this planet. So it's up to you to keep it going and make it better. And I'm 50. I can't do a whole lot, so it's up to you guys who, are in the technology age that, can help this grow and help this planet out.
Yeah. And there's nothing better than that. I agree. Like, they can be a pain in the neck when they're at home. And as long as you hear from other parents when they go over to somebody else's house, you hear about how great their manners are, or, how respectful they are. It's like, you just kind of go, okay, all right, I can forgive you for not listening at lunch because you're treating everybody else, with the respect that they deserve. And that good for you guys, man. That's good to hear that they're doing so well and playing sports. They're both going. Both of them went to Arizona. Your daughter's still at Arizona. Who's the better athlete out of those two? Oh, my bad. Oh,
no. Yeah.
She's off the
been
books.
Out, Trey's...
She's off the books now.
No. No.
Never off the books.
No. I talked to Joe Carter yesterday. I said, and Joe's like, yeah, mine's 37, 30, blah, blah, blah. They're all over 30. I was like, are they still on payroll? He was like, well, I was like, oh. But no, I mean, the funny thing is she's graduated. She's been out 2 years. Trey's been out 3, going on 3, going on 4. And my little guy, he's getting ready to go into college, and I keep threatening that I'm going to return. I'm gonna go to school with him just to keep him in line, or I would send one of the older two to go with him. But no, it's like I said, it's been quite interesting. Trey's working, so he goes to work in the morning. Taryn is trying to figure out what she wants to do. So this has been, quite interesting, trying to sit down and figure out, hey, what are you interested in? And, she's narrowed it down what she wants to do. So she sent out her resume. And then my little guy's over there trying to figure out, what he's going to do, what class he's going to take when he goes to school. And I said, right now you're in communications, because all I hear is all the friends that are going to the same school. Hey, how you doing, Tevin Griffey? How you doing, Tevin Griffey? I'm like, oh yeah, you're a communications major already. So it's been quite interesting. And it's, sitting around for, like I said, the last 2 months, it's been like, I can't believe these are my kids, and they, the funny thing is they sound like adults sometimes, and then they go right back to being a kid. And then I'm like, oh, could y'all make up your mind? Are y'all gonna be adults or y'all be kids? But, it's still funny because, like, if they want something, from mom, and all of a sudden I hear the boys go, "Mommy," and I'm like, "Really?" And she folds, and
Yes,
then
the
Tan will be
extra
like, "Daddy," I'm
my at
like,
the end, right there.
and then I hear Daddy, I'm like, "Okay, how much money you need?" She was like, "Well, I was thinking about getting some
Exactly.
gas and going to." I'm like, "Oh," so it's fun. I mean, but I try to say, like, as soon as I hear mommy, I say no. And so they got me a T-shirt, and all it says is no on it, because that's all they hear from me. I said, because you didn't ask me, you asked mom. Well, you're gonna say no. You're probably right, but
That's
it's
right.
like I said, man, it's been great. You know,
Right on.
um, the things that I miss doing. I haven't been able to go out flying. Uh, haven't been able to go back in the water scuba diving.
Yeah,
Um,
flying, dude.
I try to.
How did you get into that? What made you get into flying and the whole getting your pilot's license?
Well, I thought my
You
kids
just
were going
want
to
to
go to
get
school
away
in
from
Florida.
everybody. He's like, let me get up in the air. There ain't nobody up here can bother me.
No, no. What's funny is my dad got his pilot's license at 36. I got my pilot's license at 36. I figured that my kids were going to go somewhere in Florida, and I could fly down to see them and then be home for dinner. Quick trips. No, my kids go to Arizona, so I still got to take a big plane, commercial flight. And it's always two, because there's no direct flights from, Orlando to Tucson. So either I got to go to Atlanta and then over, or I got to go to Phoenix and then over. Uh, so I was like, okay. And then my plane's not big enough without making, a couple stops, which that's fine. So I have done it. I take a safety pilot with me. So, a guy who's, much more experienced than I am at flying. And it gives me a chance to learn. Like, my first cross country trip is usually, it's a 50-mile trip. I end up going from Orlando to San Diego and flying back. And it was a time where I could learn. It took me 26 hours.
Wow.
Headwinds. Yeah. So, we landed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Fort Stockton, Texas, Phoenix, spent the night, flew up to San Diego, played a couple days of golf, flew up to Orange County to watch the Supercross, because James Stewart was racing that weekend. Then Sunday morning, we left at like 6 a.m. I got home at like 8 p.m. But I got a
Wow,
chance to
dude.
learn a lot about being up in the air,
Yeah.
where, most people, when you fly, they give you a 2-hour lesson. And the 2 hours is, the first hour is trying to remember what you just learned a week ago, and then what you're going to learn. So being in the air for 26 hours really helped me understand. I can go over systems. I can learn, this and that. So it was great. But, this year, right before the pandemic, I wanted to learn how to be a DJ. So I bought all my DJ equipment. And for like the first couple weeks, I'd see my wife come down the stairs going, that doesn't sound good. Now, I picked 2 good songs. I just couldn't blend them in right where I wanted to. I had it in my mind how it's going to sound, but it just didn't sound that way. Now I can go downstairs and she's like, okay. Now I still haven't got like the scratching part and all the other stuff, but I could do a little set where, I give you 45 minutes of nonstop dancing.
Perfect. Well, when you get finished and you're ready to go, and I need to hire you for a party, send me your info, and
Yeah,
Junior's
make sure that.
disco ball, or whatever you call it. We're gonna make sure
No,
we line you up for that.
I got the swingman boom boom room downstairs. Uh,
Perfect. The swingman boom boom.
yeah,
We're hiring him. He's gonna be doing parties, birthdays, graduations. You're in charge of
gotcha.
DJing today, by the way. When that 5 o'clock graduation party, you're in charge of music.
No. Usually, when I'm in the car, I don't listen to music. That's the funny thing. Is like I like everything quiet. I drive. Uh, I'll take a. I do this thing every year called the Gumball 3000. It's 3,000 miles in 7 days. So
Kind of like a cannonball run.
last year, Yeah, but better.
Yeah.
Uh, so last year was Mykonos to Ibiza, and you ferried
Oh
off
yeah,
Mykonos to
better.
Athens, and
Yes.
then yeah, yeah, and we drove through Albania, Montenegro, Venice, Barcelona, into a
Wow.
port, and then we took over another ferry over to Ibiza and drove around there. But it was, and then the year before that was London to Tokyo, and we took a plane. We got to Bologna and then flew from Bologna to Osaka, and then drove around Japan from Osaka into Tokyo. And the year before that was Riga to Athens, and I blew a tire in Croatia, and that was pretty much the end of my trip. So I had to ship my car to Athens, and then we went to Athens and hung out for a couple days, and then we met up with everybody, and then we went over to Mykonos for the party, the grand finale party. But and
Dude,
this year was
suddenly
supposed
my
to be
RV trip across the United States is not looking that exciting, you know? You just
well, the motto the motto of the trip is drive all day and party all night. Usually we start driving around 8:30 and we get done around 6. But it's a snippet of what the world looks like, and you get a chance to meet other people. There's 150
good for you,
cars,
man.
and last year had 82 different countries. So it's a lot of fun. Get to meet some great people from different places, and you know the this year, like I said, this year was supposed to start off in Toronto. So next year it starts off in Toronto and ends up in Cuba. So I'll be at
Sick.
north of the border.
Wow.
So yeah, so you
I'll
have to
make
come
you
to the opening
a
party
little
with me.
CD for your car. I'll make you a CD for your car you can put in, you can listen to it. It'll be Demp's boombox. I don't have a Swingman
Okay.
boombox, but I got Demp's boombox, and I'll make you a little playlist.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, you'll like
You're
it.
gonna
I
make it
promise.
70 hours of music.
You got it, man. Absolutely. For sure I will. Hey, before we let you go, the match with Mickelson and Tiger playing again, Tiger and Peyton versus Mickelson and Tom Brady. A, did you watch it? And B, are you like, all right, now, okay, Tiger, let's go. Me and you are going to take on somebody with Phil. Like, let's get it on.
Well, see, I was part of the original Tiger and Friends back in the day when I had,
The original Tiger and Friends. I like that.
yeah, yeah. See, it was Tiger. I can't even think of his name. The actor that played Batman. I mean, Robin. Chris. I'll remember his
O'Donnell,
name in a minute.
Chris
And
O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell and Jeff Gordon. So it was us three on a scramble versus Tiger. So I was the original part of Tiger and Friends. The rest of these guys are just, they're just playing. Uh, yeah, would I do it? Absolutely. But, you know,
Well, let's make that happen,
I
man.
think he just, I
That'd be
think
a
he
lot of
just
fun to
likes.
watch, man.
Well, the funny part was how natural that JT sounded and how funny Charles was, and the perfect timing of my man Brady sinking that wedge and for a birdie, and then was yelling at "suck on that Chuck" was hilarious because sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yep.
Uh, Good gets you so far, but luck gets you even further. And but it was a good match. I mean, it was entertaining. I think the fans loved it. I also think that raising $20 million for COVID-19 helps.
Incredible.
Families who need help. But
Yep.
would I do it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you were more than lucky. You were good your whole career. I got a chance to play with you. You're a great teammate, a really, really good friend. And we appreciate you taking the time, joining us today, catching up with baseball and life. And good luck to your kids. And
You
thanks so
too.
much for joining
Thank
us
you.
here on Off the Mound Junior, man. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Now I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
Do you need help with the RV? Do you need a roadmap?
No,
Do you need?
we're locked and loaded. We'll be ready to go, man. But we really appreciate the offer and the help. And if I need anything on the way, I might bat signal you to get us out of any jam.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it, dude. Thanks so much.
Thank
hey,
you.
Ken Griffey Jr., thanks for joining the show. Everybody, we'll be right back with a little bit more off the mound after this short break. Sweet, brother.
All right, you guys are clear.
Dude, you're awesome. Hey, Junior, can you do me one favor, dude, after you've done me an hour of favor here? Hey, it's my son's 14th birthday today. Hey, Brady. Hold on one second.
He's like, what you want, Dad?
Yeah.
Tevin!
Dude, he'll lose it, man.
Tevin! See, you got to chase him down in his room.
Here, hold on one second. It's Brady.
Right. Hey, Brady, how are you?
I'm rolling right.
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. Happy birthday. 14. Yeah.
Look at this.
Here's what you do. I know he can't hear you. Yeah, that's what your hair used to look like. Okay. Now you got older, but Brady, just hopefully you got mama's side of the family in hair, so you can keep that, because you don't want to look like that all the time. Hey, here's what you do. Right now, you can start looking at cars, because next year that you're gonna start driving, you get your permit. So start looking at cars, what you want to drive. Yeah. So we won't tell him. Okay. All right. What you do? You say, Mom. Yeah, you got to go in there and say, Mommy. Okay. Rule number 1: say, Mommy. All right. Then give her a hug and say, this is what I've been looking at. Because Dad's gonna say no right away. But if Mom says he can't do anything, he's done. He'll fold. He'll start. Now, he may yell at you for a little bit, but it'll be okay, because Mom will take care of that. And if that doesn't work, go straight to the grandparents. They get them all the time. My mom still yells at me and my kids. My kids are 26 years old. They threaten me all the time. Hey, I'm going to tell your mom, don't do that. Hey, just get to Mom and then grandparents. They are your allies. Dad is going to say no. We're trained to say no all the time. We really don't mean to say no. It just comes out that way. Okay? Deal? All right. Have a happy birthday. Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right. Have a good one.
Oh, dude, you're the man, bro. Thanks, brother.
I can't. Now you got to run down 4 flights of steps.
No, I'm just. Yeah. Oh man, he was up, just hanging up in his room, doing who knows what,
What teenagers do?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where mine is. I know where mine is. Mine went to work out. He's got.
There you go.
He's got football workouts this week.
Oh, nice. Where's he going to school at?
He's going to go to FAMU, which is outside of Tallahassee. It's a
right
historical black college.
Yeah.
He felt that he wanted to go to a smaller school. Is he
gonna play football there?
Yeah. He's a corner. 5'11" right now. Hopefully he grows about 2 inches in school, but runs a 4.4. Now you talk about athletes in the house. He might be the best athlete in the house.
Dude,
I mean, he does. Yeah. He's still great. He still calls himself that every now and then.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
thank
thank
you.
you
That was
so
awesome.
much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Sorry, we got another thing coming in, but Junior, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, no problem. He's at workouts, by the way. I'll call you later on.
Okay, you got it, bro. See you.
All right, bye.
Sorry, Dan. We just got this Kipnis interview in 5 minutes, so just wanted to make sure we were all good. But that was perfect. That was 38
It was
minutes.
awesome, man.
So
Yeah,
yeah, plenty to
yeah.
work with.
He gave us and he gave us so much, man. I didn't even get to. I mean, he. It was awesome that he shared so much. It was really cool. I just let him go. So
Yeah. All good. We'll talk about it, but I'll send you links for this week's show here later on tonight when they get finished. But I think we're in good shape.
okay,
And then otherwise, because you sent me this phone thing, I don't need anything else from you, so we're all good for this week.
nope, yeah, yeah. And then we'll just
Okay.
work on Tuesday next week and Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, and let him know we said thanks. So I don't mean to cut him off like that, but
No, you're good, man. Go do what you
yeah.
gotta do.
Okay, appreciate it, Jim. I'll talk
All
to you later. I'll text you later.
You got it.
All right, man. All right.
Bye.
See ya. Are we staying? Am I staying on this link, Kevin? Oh, there's Cole. Great. Not hearing you, Cole. Can you relog? Can you relog in? Yeah, can't hear you. Well, hold on. Let me make sure.
That was me, Cole.
That was it. Okay.
Wait.
So you guys can't hear me? Yay, nay?
I got you, Cole. Yeah, you're all good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, Cole. So Roy's
Yo.
running tomorrow. This is running today.
Yep.
So if you want to change
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
shirt.
I got a different shirt. Never mind. I got it over there. I forgot to put it on. My bad.
This is running today.
You got it.
Hey, Taylor, what's up? You got Malik?
You didn't send questions, did you? Because I'm just making sure that I didn't miss any.
No, we didn't. But here,
I mean, I have ideas of what I want to ask him. I just didn't want to miss questions. So there's a bunch of stuff on his social that I thought was really funny.
check your email right now. Sorry, we just got done with 2 interviews, so I didn't see the email. But yeah, check your email now. We just interviewed your boy, Griffey.
Yep.
Shut up.
I promise you.
You just missed him by like 1 minute.
Yeah, if you would have logged on earlier, you would have saw him.
Yep.
You're kidding.
No, he was wishing Dempster's son a happy birthday.
What the frick? Why didn't you let me be a part of this? I'm pissed.
No, it's for off the mound. Don't worry, we'll get him again. Don't worry. We talked to him we got him for like 40 minutes too. He was great. I've never seen him open up like that. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get him.
Wow. Wow.
So we got his contact info now. You don't? Hold on, check. Let me see. So we have his contact info now, so we'll get him for you. Don't worry. Check your. Oh, I sent it to your marquee one.
My favorite player. I don't have a marquee email.
Well, you have to if you're an employee.
Yeah, you do.
I know, they've never given it to me.
Yeah, you do.
They've never told me anything about that. What? How do I know my marquee email? Like, how do I figure that out? Who's in charge of that? Because I've never been given my email.
Check your Gmail now, and then I'll get someone after this. I'll get someone to sort you out.
Have one because it would have to be updated every 6 months.
Taylor, did you ever see the interview with Ken Griffey Jr. and Linda Cohen? Oh man,
Was it good? I cannot believe you guys just interviewed him.
Good and terrible. I didn't interview him. It was Dempster.
Damn. So do you want to do the same thing where you ask the first two because the first one's kind of an icebreaker?
That's cool. Yep.
Okay.
That'll work. Things that only happen from home studios. Your cat trying to bite the green screen.
Dude, I
Your
saw
cat
that
is right
when
now?
I was on an ISO of Roy.
What did you see me trying to like move him away? Is that what you saw?
Yeah, we were
dude,
talking about it off camera. It was
I was
funny.
like, because I didn't want it like I didn't want it to like start making the the backdrop like start like wobbling or anything.
What's up, Jason?
Hi guys.
What's going
How
on,
are
Jason
you?
Kibness? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. Long time no see.
Nice.
I know
You
you
got those
missed
chains looking fly, man.
Of course I do.
So, do you
Hey.
live in Gold Coast? Isn't that what I heard?
Old
Not
Town.
like
Old
that's
Town.
creepy or anything. Old Town. Okay.
Old Town.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Jason, what's up? My name's Malik. I'm the producer. You're gonna hear a voice. His name's Kevin, our director. He's gonna help set up your shot real quick.
Okay.
Hey, Jason, this is Kevin. What's going on?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Good. Can you turn your camera or your phone the other way just to get you
Like
full
spin
screen
around,
here?
or you mean? What do you mean? Let's see.
Yeah. There you go. Just
That
like
way?
that. Perfect.
Got it.
Yep. And if you could set it down somewhere, kind of eye level for the interview,
Hold on 1 sec.
if you don't mind.
Is it? It should be able. You should be able to get in. Yeah. Sorry, got workers on the place. Give me 1 second.
All good. Yeah, if you place it down somewhere, like at a table or anything like that, try and keep it eye level.
Gonna
And
make
if you,
shape a little stand here.
yeah, just to be specific, try to avoid any windows behind you, as that'll just create a mad glare.
I don't know if you've seen my
Which I see a
place.
bit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Plenty of that was the selling point. Plenty of natural light. Jason.
Yeah. Buyer's remorse now.
Right.
Let's see. Hold on. Nope, that won't work. 1 second, I'll make this work.
No worries. Take your time.
Nope. Give you guys a nice little tour.
I know it's like MTV Cribs.
Right.
So you got the paper down for the workers to walk in still.
Nice. How long you been in there? Is that new?
We just got in 2 weeks ago when I got back from Arizona, so it's still not finished, but we're just remodeling it since we bought it.
But the important question is the Bentley in Arizona or is it with you in Chicago?
That is with me in Chicago. That doesn't leave my side.
Nice.
All right, what are we going to use here? Come on. There we go.
Now is that a Bentley car or the SUV?
Just the Continental GT. I like the SUV though.
Okay, because I saw the SUV down. Someone had one of those at spring training. I didn't know whose that was.
The Bentayga or something. I think you had that, Darvish.
Is that like he had a blue one, right? It was a blue SUV.
I think so. It looked good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Does this work?
All right, Jason. This is yeah. Just can you come a little closer to your phone? Just pull up. There you go. Or pull the table. Either way works. All right, and then twist your table. I just want to center you up in your shot. Like that. Perfect. And then just make sure you're looking at the camera. I assume you're on your phone. Just make sure you're looking at the camera itself during the interview. Can you pull your table just a touch more closer to you? We should be all set. Perfect. Hang like that, and we're all good.
Video down to 1200.
What are we going to be talking about?
Spin at 1200.
We'll keep it generic. I mean, just asking about, how you staying ready, just what it was like, to now be a member of the Cubs, growing up, right on the outskirts. We'll ask about 2016, just your chance to play every day at second base for the Cubs, and just basically keep it pretty surface level, man.
You got it.
And Jason, again, this is Malik. You want to fill us in? What we'll ask you about your restaurant. Can you tell Cole and Taylor the lowdown, and then we'll make sure we get that question in during the interview.
There's not much. It's called Shake It. It's with Dante at the field. It's over at Damon and Chicago, maybe. I'm trying to think. It's still being built though, so I could kind of give you a little bit of the rundown, but there's not much to report yet.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we get that in there for you as well.
Nice little plug.
Taylor disconnected for some reason.
Okay.
Jason, what year did you graduate high school, man?
I can't hear you, sorry.
What year did you graduate high school in Northbrook?
2005.
Okay. Yeah, Taylor froze up.
Thought she was staring intently at something for a second.
Right.
Let's see.
Family still out in Northbrook?
Yeah, parents are, and a brother's downtown Chicago in Lincoln Park. Then one sister in San Diego and one brother in Denver.
Nice. I'm sure your parents are pretty excited, huh?
Yeah, a lot less travel for them. It'll be easier for them, I think.
Sure.
Well, they won't be able to. It doesn't matter now. They won't be able to come to any games anyways.
Sure.
So that cancels that one out.
Yeah, I've been gone for
I don't wanna,
17 years.
Yeah, I don't want to play my hand or my cards. They're Naperville still.
I just sent Taylor a text.
Yeah, I don't want to play my cards, but it's like if I don't get to play in front of my parents and Wrigley and with all my friends, it's like I got to resign here almost.
Weird. My internet just went out.
Yeah, got to come back.
Yeah.
You have me?
Yeah, we got you.
What's up?
Sorry. I don't know why that just happened.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Don't apologize. All good. So, hey, Kevin, when you're all set, just give me a Cole single. Taylor and Cole, like you said. So Cole's going to ask a generic just hello, and then he'll ask a real question, and then it'll be you, Taylor, all right? And then we'll just go back and forth. Okay, cool. So we'll get started here shortly, Jason, okay?
Okay, no problem.
And again, thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
My pleasure.
Did you already get your workout in today?
No, I'm so sore from the one I did yesterday.
I know, I saw it on Instagram. I was like,
all right, I'm going to post something to make it look like I've been doing a lot, and I'm regretting that right now.
I like the honesty, though, man.
Oh, God. Because it helps when there's a light at the end of the tunnel, when you have a goal towards something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right now, you can work out 5 days in a row or take 5 days off, and you don't know if you're doing fine or not.
How far is that facility from where you live?
That's back in Northbrook. That's across from my high school, so that's probably a 25-minute drive from downtown.
Gotcha.
30 minutes, maybe.
How's traffic right now? It's pretty good.
Getting back to normal a little bit. The first week here was nice almost, but now people are starting to get back out, and you're starting to hit some rush hours again.
I could imagine.
I'm all set.
All right, guys. You good, Cole?
Yep.
All right, here we go. I'll count you in. Good energy, everybody. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Cole, right back with you here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite, and alongside myself and Taylor McGregor. Look who's joined the program, ladies and gentlemen. It is the pride of Northbrook, Illinois, Cubs infielder Jason Kipnis. Jason, welcome to Cubs 360, and how you doing these days?
I'm doing well, about as well as I can be right now. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. Thanks for coming on the show. Now, I know you're still staying busy. You have a new house, but when it comes to the shutdown, it's been 2 months, and everyone, of course, wants to stay sharp. They want to stay on their toes. So how have you been keeping ready for the season?
Fortunately for me, I've set up some cages back in my hometown in Northbrook. That's about a 30-minute drive north of the city, and I could head back and we got weights in there, pitching machine. So I pretty much have everything I need there, and kind of trying to make sure I go a couple times a week. It's not a must go. It's not a 5 times a week yet until we kind of get that green light that we're starting, or that start date. So right now we're just trying to pace ourselves, but we're still going and staying busy.
Jason, these are obviously unprecedented times for everybody and challenging for everybody. But for you, what has been the most challenging part of all of this, knowing that there still could be a baseball season, and hopefully there is, that you have to compete in? And how do you kind of, gauge where you're at and stay ready?
To be honest, that's kind of the hardest part, is maybe that gauge, that motivation to stay after it. Because there's, if you read into everything daily, there's a lot of times where it doesn't look great. It can kind of be off-putting to say, like, okay, we're not going to have a season this year. But I think you'd rather stay prepared and stay on top of it. So if we do get the green light and go, that you're more ready, instead of trying to play catch up and surprised by a start date. You want to be kind of prepared.
Jason, we had your quality control coach, Mike Napoli, on the show just the other day, and he told us how he's staying ready. How do you stay ready? How do you talk to David Ross, the guys on the staff, the other teammates that you have, and keep that line of communication wide open?
You know what? I don't know if it's this team that they've done it in the past, or I think it's maybe just kind of the circumstances that's happening this year, I think, with these Zoom calls. But we've done a good job in constant touch with either a group text or Zoom calls maybe once a week. I think Rizzo's taken kind of the forefront of that and leading them and putting them together. And the first couple were literally no more than to catch up, say hi, and talk hitting, kind of keep the brain working, keep the wheels turning, and talk about situations, and just so hitters can kind of stay focused and be in that mindset that we always are when we're at the field and during the season. But when you're away, you can kind of have a little lapse in judgment and not think about everything all the time. So it was good to kind of get those refreshers.
Jason, I saw your response on Twitter to a fan who, I believe he was an Indians fan, and he said, "How could you play for the Cubs?" And you responded and you're like, to be honest, it kind of challenges your mind. You grew up a Cubs fan, you played for the Indians and lost to them in the World Series, lost to the Cubs, and so now you're playing with them. What was it like for you back in February when you first signed with the Chicago Cubs, a team who was kind of your nemesis when you were playing, but then a team that you grew up as a fan of?
You know what? It was kind of a leap of faith for me. I listen, when we played in 2016 in that great World Series, that's never going to go away. That's going to be a part of who I am all the time. And that maybe that 1 to 5%, that even though I lost, it was to the Cubs. Now it's flipped, where it's like, okay, now I'm my 95 to 99% of excitement for the Cubs is that dulled by that 1 to 5%, but like, it's still the Cubs that you lost to. So I'm getting payback for the 16 World Series now. But you know what, as you put your career in perspective, and as you kind of step back to the big picture and maybe even think post-career, think something, what do you want out of this? And playing for the Cubs is something that I've always wanted to give a try, and as kind of intimidating as it may have been at times, and the big picture was just screaming this was a good idea to give it a chance, an opportunity. And as soon as I signed and all the texts and calls started coming in of excitement from friends and family, it made it pretty surreal and made it kind of put it into even more of a clear picture that it was the right move.
No, Jason, I don't want to dwell on 2016, but we're going to stay talking about 2016 because your Cleveland Indians, you guys had that 3-1 lead. I think everybody knows where that series went, the 3-game winning streak on the backside of that series. But what was the turning point in that 2016 World Series?
You know what? There wasn't much. I wouldn't say there was an exact turning point. It's not like you guys gained momentum back because of something that happened. I think if you look back when Boston came down from 3-0 or 3-1, it's you guys had the same way where they had their three best pitchers lined up for it. So I think we got through you guys the first time, but we knew all those guys, those horses were coming back around with Lester and Kyle and Jake. I think we knew that, hey, this is a hard team to beat once, and it's even harder to beat twice. So we knew we had to buckle down, and unfortunately we didn't get it done, and you guys did. I think it wasn't a turning point. It's just when you have that kind of three-headed monster at your rotation, it's tough to get through them twice.
Now let's focus on the positives of this whole thing now that you get to play for your hometown team.
Thank you.
Can you describe the memories that you have coming to Wrigley Field growing up a Cubs fan that stick out to you?
You know what? I went to a high five sports camp when I was younger, and these are my first memories of going to Wrigley. I remember we took camp field trips, day trips to Cubs games sometimes, and like I was in the blue group or the red group, and I had to follow a leader with a blue shirt, and like one of those where you're in a single file line kind of when you're 8 to 10 years old, and you get a hot dog and you get in your seat, and it was just amazing. I still can remember a little bit, like when you walk out onto the concourse or from the concourse into the stadium where the seats are, kind of that view where the field just kind of takes its picture. And that's kind of the first view that kind of hooks kids. And it got me for sure. And so those are some of my first memories with Wrigley. I think another good one, I think I was at the 03 postseason game versus Atlanta, maybe prior pitching. And I think we all did the chop kind of to rub it in Atlanta's face, kind of right back at them. We did their own chop at Wrigley. And I mean, that place with everyone with hats, like it looked like a beehive in there, and it was awesome. The electricity in that crowd was just as good as it is today.
Now, Jason, from being a youth camper at Wrigley Field in a blue or red shirt to 2020, where you could potentially be the starting second baseman, when you take a look at what the season may hold, what's your outlook for 2020?
You know what? I was really excited, and I still am if we get this one in. I think you can ask around the league or even look around the league. This roster the Cubs have had is a damn good one that's pretty well respected around the league and is feared a little bit, and they know how good they can be. I know in 16 you started thinking, you heard the words dynasty and there might be a run. Well, I mean, it's tough to win, not only that, but even in the playoffs. But a lot of the same guys are still here. So I think that there's no reason to think that they can't put another run together. I'd like to be a helping piece, maybe a missing piece for that if they needed me to be. And but I mean, they've already got a good ball club here. I think this is just something you come in and try to help. You don't just really come in to fix.
Jason, one of the ways that we know you can help is just your veteran presence, your experience that you have. I know at spring training, I was talking with Nico Horner, and he says he's learned a lot from you because of your experience within this game. When you look at the younger players like a Nico Horner, what is your advice to him as he kind of steps into wanting to be an everyday big leaguer?
Not be so good so I can get another year or two of playing time. He's a stud, and I think I try to consider myself a realist, and I don't try to tamper anyone's progression in this game. And what I've learned is this isn't going to be a competition in the sense where I need to battle against him. I think when you're on the same team, this is something you work with each other and try to get the best out of each other. Because I know, having played a lot longer than he is and being a little bit older, I think there's a lot of teams that I could teach him where. When we were in 16, just to put it for example, the Indians, it was a next man up kind of attitude. Let's say something happens to me. I want Nico or whoever to be the best prepared to fill in my spot. So to not have him fully prepared, to not tell him everything I know or teach him what I know to help him is hurting myself in essence, because I'm part of that team too. So he's got a bright future ahead of him. And I think if not me, then him. If not him, then Escalso. Then someone's got to fill that role of second baseman and plug that hole to fill the rest of the lineup out.
You know, you have to remain calm under pressure, as they say. If you can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. And you can certainly stand the heat because you're back in the kitchen. You're a new restaurateur. Tell everybody at home what that's all about.
Well, I am extending my restaurant tour to Chicago, Illinois. I've opened one in Columbus, Ohio, called Seesaw. That's about to reopen after this. So if you're ever there, hit that one up. But the one in Chicago will be called Shake It, and it'll be a kind of a burger joint with an outdoor patio. Will be kind of near Damon and Chicago or around that area. I'm trying to think of the exact address. I'm screwing up my own business right now, but. A great outdoor patio to watch Cubs games, and I can't say that enough. Having me on board with that, I've made it a place where I want to have it be an inviting place for people to come, and if they're not at the game, they go there to watch the game. So the food's going to be amazing. The burgers are unreal. I've had them before. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything, it's kind of tampered the progression of the site being built up, but I think we're picking back up now, and hopefully up and running here by maybe the end of the year or early next year.
So once the doors open, is it safe to say that Taylor and I can go in to Shake It and say, hey, we know the owner?
Yeah, it absolutely can. It'd be an honor. I'll probably go with you guys because I want to be there a bunch too. And the fun part about playing now in Chicago and having a restaurant there is that maybe I can get some teammates to come with me on some nights, or just have some surprise visits or stops for some loyal fans that are there. So I think it'll be a great place.
Yeah, we'll have to bring you along because hopefully they won't give us the boot if just Taylor and I went by ourselves. Jason Kipnis, a Chicago kid, now a Chicago Cub. Thank you for the time, man. Appreciate it. And good luck this season once it finally does get underway.
I hope so. Thank you, guys.
Now, still to come right here, woof, you got to have a chance to be the Cubs everyday guy, and you got to stay cool. And sometimes it's just impossible, especially on a baseball diamond. So we're going to give you our picks for the best meltdowns in baseball history. That's coming your way next, right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
I'd be on that list if they had a camera under our dugout in Cleveland.
Good stuff, guys. You guys are clear.
Hey, thanks, man.
I think it was Mike
Thank you,
Napoli who said when the homer was hit in Game 7 that he was like, man, the Cubs really are cursed. When you guys had the momentum.
Dude, I'd be lying if I didn't say that that's literally what was going on in our dugout, where it's like the curse is on our side. Like, it's not on us. It's on them. This is real. Like, they're not meant to win this. So we literally had that momentum and everything. And like that home run really gave us that feeling like, oh no, this is us. This is our turn. Like, this is going to actually happen. So yeah, we fully thought that.
Did you watch
the home run?
Game 7 was on ESPN the other day, and I
tweeted.
tweeted.
No.
I'm sure you didn't, but I tweeted out like that my neighbors probably think that I have a legit beef with some dude named Rajay Davis, because when he hit that bomb, I was like, no, I can't believe this. This is how it's going to happen.
Dude,
and then he tweeted me back. He's like,
I get
oh,
goosebumps.
really?
I've only watched like 3 highlights of that, maybe like me scoring from second or the Rajay home run. The Rajay home run gives me more goosebumps than any play I think I've done myself. I remember jumping like a little kid, so that environment was amazing.
What about when you
with
came
like
to
interviews
bat?
of other players?
Sorry,
I'll get to that. The replay on ESPN Game 7, was it like with players zooming in and talking?
Oh yeah,
it?
Joe Madden and David Ross on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to watch that yet. On that one. I'm not sure. It's
okay, but coming to bat in the bottom of the 9th, like that's what kids dream of. Is
sure,
the bottom
exactly.
of the 9th, Game 7 of the World Series. Like, how hard was it not to just
not only that? I'm assuming we're off camera right now, but
yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of the closer that was on the field at the time too for you guys. And in my head, I'm saying it, dude. I should be like, hey, just hit a single. This guy throws 100. Just like be short. But you can't help but think, hey, a home run here, and off him, I'm doing cartwheels around that baseball field if that would have happened. I would have been butt naked by the time I got to home plate.
It's been the greatest moment of anybody's life.
Oh my God. Just
right.
You start thinking about it.
And you had that one too where it went straight back. I mean, you're like,
yeah, I'm more pissed about that.
Hey, this isn't on YouTube, right?